seven, eight, eight book. 1. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Vangshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the darling, dear darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. I salute him again and again. Om peace, peace, peace. So we are on the 8th book, 3rd chapter, and we'll start that chapter with verse number 1. Here we are now in the reading of that elephant, lordly elephant. What is called? Gajendra Moksha. That Gajendra. Gajendra is now the lord of the Gaja. Gaja means Hathi, the elephants. So he was in trouble, and the crocodile is caught his leg, and he cannot escape. So being helpless, his whole other elephants, they also tried to help that king of lord or lord of the elephants, but they failed. So ultimately, Gajendra then prayed to God. So this is the prayer of the lordly hymn of the lordly elephant, Gajendra. Lordly elephant means, elephant is Gaja, Lord is Lord means Indra. Gaja Indra. Indra is the greatest among the elephants. Now this is Shukadeva said in verse number 1 in the book number 8, chapter 3. The Shuka said, resolving in this way and concentrating his mind, the lordly elephant began to utter the great mantra that he had practiced in his previous birth. He was fortunate that he could recall what mantra, Guru mantra, he got it in last birth, and he, falling in this danger, in an awkward situation, he started praying that, chanting that mantra. What he said, lordly elephant then after saying so mantra, what he said, Om, my salutation to that worshipful one, Lord God, who bestows consciousness to inert nature. The world is inert, it is a matter. He is consciousness. He gives or supports and supplies the consciousness to the inert nature. This body is inert. Everything in the creation is a matter, panchabhuta, made of 5 elements. But it is because his consciousness percolates through it, and everything becomes conscious. Like the example given, as Ramakrishna gave the example, the potatoes and dal, they'll jump. And they don't jump by their own power. They have no power at all. Potato, dal, water, they have nothing. But the heat makes them jump. But these potatoes and dal, they do not know that there is not their own power. We, like that, we are jumping, howling, talking, expressing in the world. I think I am doing, I. Not knowing that he is the consciousness behind, who is making everything do, every activities. So, oh my salutation to that worshipful one. I am offering my salutation to him who bestows consciousness to the inner nature, who is both Prakriti and Purusha as also their controller. A very high point. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yat Etat Chidatmakam. Everything is Chaitanyatmak, Chidatmak. Chaitanya means consciousness, as if it is pulsating with consciousness. But whose consciousness? Is Jada. And in this whole world is made of 24 principle, cosmic principle, and the Purusha and Prakriti. Sankhya philosophy says Purusha and Prakriti. Jada and Purusha is the consciousness, Chetana, Jada Chetana. And Jada becomes like Purusha, being close proximity. But if you separate it out, then Jada has no power. Purusha is consciousness itself. So, I worship that Lord who bestows consciousness to the inner nature and who is both Purusha and Prakriti. And now one step up. Vedanta, Sankhya to Vedanta, one jump. Purusha and Prakriti is the philosophy of Sankhya. And their close proximity created this universe, and everything became so much sentient, it appears, because of the Purusha and Prakriti coming close. Now if you can separate, then it is two separate entity, but there is beyond them one consciousness. It is individual consciousness, but where the individual consciousness come? Behind that there is a cosmic consciousness. That is Vedanta. Purusha and Prakriti, Sankhya says, you have a Purusha and Prakriti, I have a Purusha and Prakriti. One Purusha everywhere. Not the same one absolute one, but individual Purusha and Prakriti, Purusha and Prakriti. Many Purushas, many Prakritis. But Vedanta says, no. All are Purusha, behind that is one cosmic Purusha. That's called Brahmanatman. It's a development, philosophical development in human mind. So the Purusha and Prakriti, and also their controller, if you say who controls all this individual soul, there is a cosmic, that's called God. And he is the controller of God even. That means Satchidananda. Purusha, Prakriti, Sankhya. Behind that comes the God, one. Purusha Vishesha, Patanjali, that's why he says, Ishvara, who is God, defined. Purusha Vishesha is a special Purusha. Three stages are coming. One, Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is separate, Prakriti is separate. Vedanta, Sankhya says, if you can separate out, then your problem is gone. Prakriti is Prakriti, Purusha is Purusha. I am Purusha. So you are free, not entangled into Prakriti. Or mind, emotion, 24 principles means Prakriti means what? Prakriti means 24 principles. So 24 principle means the 5 elements of earth, water, etc., 5 organs of perception, 10, 5 organs of action, 15, and 5 subtle elements. When the growth goes, we remain in our dream. That is, subtle elements remain. So these are 20, plus 4 is, mind, your intellect, your ego, and your memory. Manabuddhi chitta ahankara. So 20 plus 4, that's called 24. This is called Prakriti. And this Prakriti is Jada. But consciousness is the Purusha. So each Shankha says each has one Purusha, one Prakriti. One Purusha, one Prakriti. But Vedanta says, no. There is somebody who controls all the Purushas. What is that Purusha? It's called Ishvara. That's why Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Ishvara, who is Ishvara? Purusha Vishesha. There is a special Purusha. These are Purushas, but there is a special Purusha. Sarvagya. She knows all, etc., etc. That is called Ishvara. But beyond that, Vedanta goes another step. That's a Saguna. Behind that, there is one consciousness and consciousness alone. So I salute that reality. Who is pervading everything and who is the source of all. That consciousness, who is all penetrating into everything and who is the source of all this created universe. I seek shelter in that eternally existent one from whom this universe has come, in whom it subsists, who is its instrumental cause, of whom it is manifestation, and who at the same time transcends that world manifestation, both in the causal and effect condition. That means I am taking refuge to Brahman. They are giving the description of Brahman. What? It is eternally existing one. And from him the universe has come, in whom everything rests on. And he, that consciousness, is the instrumental of the cause. Cause means everything happening because of that consciousness, of whom it is the manifestation. This world is nothing but the manifestation of that consciousness, and who at the same time transcends the worldly manifestation. He is beyond. Attatishtat dasangulam purusham emedagam sarvam jad bhutam jad bhavyam jat utamrita seshana. The Upanishad suggests that it is that reality which is bhuta bhavishyat, and it's all beyond. So I say I take shelter in that. That means I take shelter in the how even Vedanta is penetrated into everywhere. Whatever they say, ultimately they will have to say this Vedanta. And now they can come down to our level and talk. Vedanta says, any guru, any ishto, devata, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Shankara, or any gods and goddesses mantra, you see, when you chant the mantra, you'll find, first they're talking, he is Brahman, he is absolute, from whom everything came. And then he is now 4 hands, 6 eyes, about this look, that look, their description. So all ultimately the absolute. Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram. Rama is who? First word. The Ram Nam starts with the first word. Shuddha Brahma, bas. And Rama is who? Shuddha Brahma Paratpara. Para means the supreme, superior than the supreme. That means beyond time-space causation. So this is a very unique pattern in Hindu scriptures. I seek shelter in the eternally existent one, from whom this universe has come, in whom it subsists, who is the instrumental cause, of whom it is manifestation, and who is the same time transcends that worldly manifestation, both in the causal and effect conditions. He is the unimpeded awareness and the witness of all. He is the awareness. What awareness? Unimpeded. That means unobstructed. That consciousness is everywhere permeated. No one can obstruct. Okay, you cannot enter here. It is penetrating everywhere. Awareness as awareness and the witness of all. He is the witness of all, an unimpeded awareness, who by his own Maya has established in himself this universe. By his own Maya, in that he, in eternal consciousness, he has created this universe. That's why it is mind-born. The world is mind-born. Your mind creates your dream, God's mind creates this universe. You can create your world in the dream, individual mind. God's mind has created this entire universe. So, it is by what is that? That's power. God's power is what? Maya Shakti. Jasminnidam jadascevam jenedam jaivam sayam jo asmat parasmatcha parastang prapadde sayam bhuvam. Baba, khub bhalo. I salute him, Jasminnidam, in which this universe has come out. Idam means this universe. Jasmin is from whom? Jatascaivam, from whom? What the elemental thing, what the constitution of this table, lamp, house, building, etc., place, bone, it is he. Jata means from whom? Jatascha idam. Jena, by which it is composed. And ja idam sayam, who is this? Who is that consciousness itself is this. Jo asmat parasmatcha, who is higher than me, asmat, and even you think some higher entity is higher than the highest. Parastam, which is the supreme of everything. Prapadde, I take refuge, salute, Sayam Bhuvam, that Lord God who is Swayam, self-resplendent. No one has created him, it is that Swayam. Jasminnidam jataschaidam jenedam jaidam sayam jo asmat parasmatcha parastang prapadde sayam bhuvam jasvatmani idang nijam ayaya arpitang kruchit vibhatam kuchatat tirohitam aviddat drik sakshi uvayam nado kshate sa atma mulo avatu mang paratparam. That is the next verse. So he is the unimpeded awareness and the witness of all, who by his own Maya has established in himself this universe, which is seen in its manifested condition and unseen in its causal state by others. So it is seen, I see the universe, it is he has created this visible universe, and is manifested and unseen in its causal state by others. But it is witnessed by himself in both these conditions. He is the basic self-consciousness. He is the basic self-conscious awareness, from whom all other centers of self-consciousness, awareness, jiva. He is the Paramatma. What he is saying, he is the Paramatma, meaning, how he have explained, he is the basic capital self-conscious awareness, from which all other centers of small self-conscious awareness. We are small self, this body me, this mind me, is called, we are aware of this small body mind. It has come from where? that big self. They say, I am this universe. So, ekosam bahusyam, ekosam bahuda, forgot that mantra. Ekoham bahusyama. Ekoham, I am one. Bahu, I will be Bahu. So big self-awareness, ekaha, one, now manifested in the form of individual. Paramatman, Jivatman. See how many different angles they are putting the philosophy of entire Vedanta in nutshell here. And who is doing that? A Gaja, an elephant. Only in Indian things this type of thing can happen. In any other culture, it will be sword and bomb and cracker and this and that. But here is only an elephant also talking this philosophy which human cannot conceive. Baba. What a culture. That's why it's a rich culture. Consciousness everywhere, seeing consciousness. And so the self-consciousness, the jivas arising from that Paramatman, is the big consciousness. He identifies with everyone, every body, every mind, every emotion. But we as individual identify with this body, this mind, this ego, this intelligence. So Jivatma, Paramatma. I seek refuge in that being, transcending all the highest human conception of him. Ultimately said, I am refuge, asking for refuge to whom? Which transcending all the highest human conception. Human being can conceptualize high about God as much as it can go. I am beyond that. I take refuge in that reality, not in other areas. Neither in this world. What is Buddha's word? Nava sapta loke, na bhutale, not in this earth, not in the heaven, not in high heavens. That is which is beyond. When all the worlds, 5 verse, when all the worlds and their protectors and all causal agencies means who controls, controller, cause of all these powers in the world. That's why Hindus worship part of the power. Power of God is what? In the fire, Agni Devata, in the air, Vayu Devata, water, Varun Devata. So all are Devatas. Devatas powers, controllers, causal controller. We don't see them here, but they are the cause to have this effect of all these powers in the world. So when all the worlds and their protectors and all causal agencies had been dissolved in their primeval condition, all have gone back into the primeval condition, by the inexorable power of time, and only the darkness of dissolution, abysmal in depth and endless in extent, remained, he, the supreme light of consciousness, shone undimmed over the darkness. Bhava. In the deep darkness, he shines forth. So he says, when all the worlds and their protectors, Mahapralaya, he is first described in the creation. When creation is destroyed, then what happens? All the worlds, gross world, heavenly world, higher world, lower world, all these worlds, India, spiritual Hindus will feel that 14 hells and heavens are there. So when all these worlds and their protectors, the gods, and all causal agencies had been dissolved in their primeval condition, they are all, Lord is going to sleep, so all go to sleep. No. Our sense organs, what happened? They are active now. When you go to sleep, I also go to sleep. My eyes also go to sleep. My hand also goes to sleep. My feet also goes to sleep. So, when I go to sleep, they also go to sleep. So when God, Lord goes to sleep, the Creator God, all the controller gods of water, air, fire, they also retire for sleep. They get a holiday. When God, Lord tries to take rest, and everyone goes back to that level. Primeval condition, by the inexorable power of time, time capital, and only the darkness of dissolution, the darkness of dissolution, the world is dissolved. When dissolved, what happens? Darkness. This light goes away. Dissolution means this creation dissolves. Mahapralaya, that is the idea. When it happens, abysmal in depth and endless in extent remained and goes to deep darkness, and everything is in sleep. He, the supreme light of consciousness, shone undimmed. That eternal shining light remains still vibrant and lighted. But manifestation, which was manifested, they go back to the cause and remain in there. Individually they go to darkness, as we do. Every day we go to deep darkness in the sleep time. When I go to deep sleep, not even dreaming, then I go to deep darkness, nothing else. So when the entire world goes into sleep like that, the whole world will be in darkness. But the light which is shining witness consciousness, he will be shining bright there all the time. Now, when it is getting to the causal form and merging into that deep darkness, that time the eternal sun shines. So, whether manifested through this 24 cosmic principle or to the gods and goddesses who controls this, to back to that everything goes into dissolution, that eternal light shines forth. That's why there is a song, Sita Chandra Surjo Dhangso Leo Hoyna Sita Andhakar Utleche Prem Paravar Utleche Prem Paravar. In the song, Devendranath Majumdar, he wrote, there in that Ramakrishna, there is no darkness. So everything collapses into darkness. Where the sun and moon and everything, Chandra Surjo, Dhangsolo, if the sun is destroyed, no shining power, moon is destroyed, but it matters. Shining reality does not change. These are all reflected consciousness. Reflected consciousness may be there depending on the object. If the sun's light falls on a mirror, it shines so bright. If it falls in a dark, deep, black, shooted object, its manifestation is so dirty and not manifestation at all. But matters little, let them throw away all them. Eternal shining light, it will shine all the time. Now shining, when creation, that time shining to the objects, and when it is dissolved, that time also shining. So undimmed over that darkness. The ordinary people in an audience do not understand the identity of an actor from his makeup and movements on the stage. Ordinary people, when they see someone is acting in a role of a holy man or a villain or a very crude person, rude person, because of their makeup, dress and other things, They look at one thing. As ordinary people cannot understand, it is what man is this dressed up and who is doing this play. They see the makeup plus the person and forget the person. They see the character of the person through that. So the ordinary people in an audience do not understand the identity of an actor and his makeup, and the movements in the stage. He does not know. He thinks actually there is a villain, actually there is the Ravana, actually there is the Rama, but this is all dress makeup. In the same way, neither the rishis nor the devas are able to grasp his being in disguise provided by his own Yogamaya. When God manifests like that, even the rishis and munis who are meditating and contemplating on God for years and years and years, they see the enactment but don't understand who is playing. It is God playing, but don't understand. Rishi munis cannot understand that. They get stuck into the costume, as I always say. In the makeup, here they are using the makeup in the stage, actor. Who is the real actor? Actor is something different from the role in which he is playing. To take that acting, they have to look like that person, no? When whoever our friends we know go for acting, 1 month they are growing their beard in a different way, which never they do that. You ask them, why are you putting this? No, I have an acting. It should be so natural that not in makeup. So beyond their wish, they use them. So it is just acting form. But who is acting? People don't understand. It is God playing. Even the rishis and munis, devas, they couldn't understand. Najasya deva rishaya padang viduhu. Na jasya, of whom the reality, devaha, the gods, and rishis, rishaya, padang, his status, viduhu, no, jantu punaha ko arhati gantum iritum. So if they cannot understand the rishis and yogis, because he is covered by the yoga maya, by his maya, cosmic maya, how then can an ordinary man understand or describe anything about his inscrutable ways? If yogis and rishis cannot do that, who are leading their whole life to recognize this, who is playing in the human form, who is playing in the form of this gaja, the elephant, who is in the crocodile, it is all. So it is all, everything has come out of him by inscrutable maya. It appears so real, and we feel the pain and anguish and joy and suffering. So ordinary people, how they will understand it is God's play going on? We think we are the doer, we are the master. I will do that, I am a failure, I am a success, I understand this, you don't understand that, you, I. And all the whole life struggle is going on around, not knowing who is the person here. It is Leela. So it is a Bhagavat Bhakti mixed with Jnana. Try to understand it is God's play going on. You are nothing. All the 24 cosmic principles have created this. And who these 24 cosmic principles came from where? It came from God. It is God Himself has become like this. Ramakrishna says in many places. It is Leela going on. Who is playing the Leela? Not you. You are only a partner. God's plan, God's desire, God's wish. That's why Ramakrishna said even the leaf moves without God's grace or God's wish. So this is the highest philosophy, what is there in Vedanta anymore? Or these few 5 verses, all the Vedanta has been not shut down. We can use months and months on these few verses itself. But one Gaja, elephant, is praying to God in this line. Who will understand? As rishis and munis, they cannot understand this. What the ordinary people will then understand or describe anything about God's inscrutable ways and means. May that Lord, whom none knows in truth, knowing means intellectually, whom none, I am taking refuge to what? That Lord, may that Lord, whom none knows in truth and in reality, protect me. So I am not asking protection from ordinary person, not ordinary gods and goddesses, but I am asking from that which the rishis and munis could not understand, that cosmic light and consciousness, which is always there when the creation is there, all creation goes away, destructions, darkness cover the entire universe, in that who shines in his eternal glory. That song is very important. Chandra Surja Dhangsha Holeo, when Chandra means the moon and Surja, the sun, Dhangsha, even they got destroyed, then they go to the deep abysmal of darkness, and Chandra Surja Dhangsha Holeo, Hoyna Teta Andhakar. There in that plane, there is no darkness. We will be in darkness, the sun, gloomy sky. We cannot see anything, it is a dark day. But shining day, when clouds are gone. But we are in the spell of ignorance, so we see this world. But that, when this entire world destroyed, even that the shining sun of the Ramakrishna sun shines in its glory. Jeta Chandra Surja Dhangsha Holeo Hoyna Sita Andhakar Utleche Prem Paravar Utleche Prem Paravar Ore jar legeche bujha hoyeche soja. Who have understood this problem, this is an unbearable load in the Maya's world, bujha bujhir bojka phele marche se moja. She throws away all this burden and says, my God, O Lord, you are here. It is all your play going on. Who am I? না আর কি হবে দাও বের করেছ উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার তোরা আয় না ছুটে ভবের মুটে ভাসিয়ে দে না মাথার ভার তুই প্রেম সাগরে ভাসিয়ে দে না গা. So you lead yourself in the ocean of love, consciousness, that light which never gets dim. Even the sun is there, or sun goes into darkness, deep darkness. What it matters? That shining light never dims, and that is the Ramakrishna sun. He is the Bhakta of Ramakrishna. Ore Chandra Surja Dhangsha Holeo Hoyna Sita Andhakar. So you let flow, just swim. Prem Sagare Bhasye De Naga. Just you have to swim. Just let yourself go in the ocean, the stream of love of God. Jabi Bhese Emon Dese Jar Pase Naiga. You will reach in such a place where there is no worldly village. Gaon means gaon. Gram. There is no gram. Gram means worldly people chit-chatting and fighting with 1 penny, as we are doing. 1 penny. Little love, jealousy, fighting, hunting. That is not there. Just to flow in the stream of Ramakrishna ocean. Prem sagore bhasye denaga jabi bhese. You will float. You just let flow. Let yourself go in the flow of that love of Ramakrishna, ocean. And then you will automatically reach in a place where there is no ga. Prem sagore jabi bhese emon deshe jar pase nai ga. Sithaye sabi ulto dhong, sitha sabai ulto dhong. And there you reach, you will find everything is opposite. What is the opposite? Hethaye kalo, sethaye sada, bujbi ki bhai wrong. This area, it seems it is dark. But you reach there, you find all light. That's the idea of Mother Kali also. It appears black, but you reach there, you find it all light. Otor karjo karun sava karun, nai tathay tar odhikar, nai tathay tar odhikar, utleche prem paravar. The ocean of love has swollen. Ramakrishna, ocean of love. So just go and put yourself in the stream. You will automatically float. You need not have to do anything. Just float in that love. And then it will take you to the destination. A place where there is no darkness at all. It is all light, 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 all light together. Guru Das kende bole bhai, bichare kaj nai. Guru Das says, don't need to analyze anymore. You are born to too much intelligent person, too much book learning. You're trying this, that, philosophy, that. Don't need anything. Bujha buji onek holo, sojai chalo bhai. You have made your life hell. So many years of reading, understanding, this, that, positive, negative. It's got logic, logician, argumentation, viveko, vicharo, onek you have done. Get out of all these things. Sojai chalo, now take a straight path. Flow in the love of God, love of Ramakrishna. And it will take you to a place where there is no darkness. There is no sun, no moon, apparently, but that is the eternal light which is shining behind the sun and moon. Ramakrishna Yamar Premer Pathar. Ramakrishna is my Premer Pathar. Prem means the love. Pathar means ocean, ocean of love. Premer Pathar. Duble Habi Bhavapar. Even if you died there, you will not be dead. You will cross the ocean of samsara. So dive deep into Ramakrishna. Beautiful song. Yeah. Anyhow, so he's saying that I take refuge in that Lord whom none knows in truth, in reality. And I'm asking protection from him. 7th verse. He, the most auspicious being, to have an intuitive knowledge of the whom sages, free from all attachments, practice the sense of oneness and friendship with all being, observe the vow of unbroken brahmacharya, and live in the solitude of forest. May he, the Lord of all, be my refuge. So another way of praying to God, you are all auspicious. To have an intuitive knowledge of whom, if we have even intellectually tried to understand God, the reality in this way, who is free from attachment, who can do that? Whose mind is pure, his mind is free from attachment. Practice the sense of oneness, every day think, I am that one, absolute. And friendship with all beings, and in his day-to-day life, he feels that everyone, I am a friend of everyone. There is no one enemy on me. Holy Mother said, no one is stranger, who feels oneness with all. and observe the vow of unbroken brahmacharya, celibate, deep austerity they practice, and fall in love with God, giving up the worldly pleasures. Brahmacharya here means giving up the attraction for the worldly pleasures. And live in solitude and forests. To achieve whom people practice brahmacharya, people give up their own life, go to the forest life, people find friendship with all, oneness with all, and people practice detachment, non-attachment from things. And the sages who try to intuit in their mind, that is the Lord God I want to meditate. I take refuge in that reality. Verse 8. He who has neither birth nor activity. Bhagavan, that is also Maya, it created. But Brahman is never created, never born. So he, that reality, who has neither birth nor activity, who has neither name, form, nor subjection to the gunas or prakriti, yet assumes all this through his inherent power of Maya from time to time. He has no birth, but he occasionally, for the good of humanity, it is the avatara, comes down in the human form by his power, by his inscrutable power of Maya, from creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. To that Supreme Being is my salutation. Navidyate jasya chana janma karma vanam rupe guna dosa eva va. It is easy for us to understand. Navidyate, which does not remain, jasya, of whom, janma karma, birth and its activities, no vidyate. There is no birth, no activity of that reality. But no namarupe gunadose. He has no identification with name and form or the quality good and bad. Tathapi loko appaya sambhavaya cha. Lokapayasa. Lokopi ayasa sambhavaya. So for the tani anukalo mrichati. He takes birth in the time. Timeless reality is born in time. That is Krishna. That is Rama he is talking about. That Lord who is all transcendental, from verse number 1 to so far they have described about God, consciousness, inner consciousness, Jivatman, Paramatman, 24 principles, this, that, Sankho. And that reality by its own power comes occasionally, takes a human form by its inscrutable Maya Shakti. So he who has neither birth nor activity, verse number 8, who has neither name, form, nor subjection to the gunas of Prakriti, yet assumes all this through his inherent power of Maya from time to time for the creation. Why he comes? For the creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. To that Supreme Being, my salutation. He is not only the creator, he is not only the creator, but he is the preserver and he is the destroyer. Three aspects. That's the beauty of, again, Hindu religion. They don't create another Satan to compete with God. Same God creates, maintains, destroys. Ramakrishna had a mystic vision. He was in the Panchavati, he was walking and he found that one lady, beautiful lady, motherly figure came and stood. And she, so charming and beautiful, and she gave birth to a baby. She is the giver of birth. Then she nourished the child with utmost love and care and attention. And then ultimately she devours. This is very unique concept in Hinduism. One God, it is his time. In time he creates. He nurtures. And he destroys. There is no question of anger or anything. This is a play. Children play on the beach and they create castles with so much attention and then throws away, destroys. Just while leaving, coming back home, give a kick and break all the structure. So much. I see that the big water, baby, bringing ocean water and pouring here and doing like. So God creates like a child. There is no attachment, nothing. That's why we have to ask it appears violent destruction, but for him or the Lord it is just fun and play. By Maya Shakti. He, the Brahman, the formless, who yet assumes infinite forms and performs astounding actions, to him the Lord of all my salutation. So he is the Brahman and he is the formless, yet assumes infinite forms. All these forms is his form. And he also incarnates himself as avatar. I salute to that Lord. He who is self-luminous, consciousness, the witness of all, the supreme self, the one beyond the grasp of mind, words of every kind of mental modes, to him my salutation. So again, I am saluting that reality which is self-luminous and conscious, who is the witness of all, the supreme self, the one beyond the grasp of mind, words, and every kind of mental modification. I offer my salutations to him. That's why people judge Hinduism thinking that they are idol worshippers. They are not idol worshippers. They are what is saying, it's the same truth appearing, they are worshipper of that eternal principle, through form and name, because you cannot love the infinite. So few people may be pure soul, they can think of this way, rishis and sages. But most of the people, as we live in duality, to go beyond, we take the help of duality, of God. He who is none the less attained as the indwelling self by those purified by absolute renunciation, who is the dispenser of absolute consciousness and is of the nature of absolute bliss. Oh, absolute, absolute, absolute. He who is none less and unattained, the indwelling self is the self in all, absolute, purified by the absolute renunciation. They are established in their purity by renouncing attachment to the others, who is the dispenser of absolute consciousness and is of the nature of absolute bliss. So he is absolute nature, consciousness, Satchidananda. To him my salutation. Verse number 12. Salutation to him who through the assumption of the gunas of Prakriti appears as the calm, the terrible and the inert. Salutations to him who through the assumption of gunas, that reality, when it assumes the gunas, three gunas, added with it, takes of the Prakriti, appears as the calm, terrible and inert, takes three forms. Sometimes he is Sattiko, calm, terrible, is Rajas, and inert is the Tamas. Who is also the one without again he is without any modification. He is modified in the world as Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And again he is beyond the three gunas. The same always, he is always same and without and always and everywhere. He is the same always and everywhere. And the condensation of pure consciousness. I salute him again. He is the pure consciousness condensed, condensation as avatar, I offer my salutation. I think we can stop here. 12th verse we have read. Bhava egulo. Namah Shantaya Ghoraya Mudhaya Gunadharmine Nirvisheshaya Sammaya Namo Jnana Ghanaya Cha. Namo, I am saluting Shantaya, who is perfectly peaceful, Sattika. Ghoraya, who is of the nature of Rajas, very Ghora. Mudha, like Tamas. That you see God everywhere in Tamas, Rajas, Sattva. Good, bad, what is good, what is bad. He, God, Lord, takes the three form by Maya, becomes Sattika in someone, becomes Rajasika in someone, becomes Tamasika in someone. So whom to blame? Who is when the killer and the killed are the same? When the lover and the loved, there is only one reality. Then whom to praise, whom to blame? What to renounce, what to attach, where to go, where not to go. That is this holistic picture of Vedantic idea. Shantaya, Ghoraya, Mudhaya, Guna Dharmine. He is the holder, upholder of the gunas. Nirvisheshaya, Nirvishesh. Sammaya is calm. Namo Jnana Ghanaya Cha, who is the Ghana, Jnana Ghana. Jnana has been, knowledge has been condensed. Chit Ghanakaya. Swamiji says in the Khandana, Chit Ghanakaya. So Chaitanya Ghana. So I salute him. Okay? Any question is there? No question? Who will question? So, ki asche?
No, next Tuesday there will be no class. It is saying in that bulletin the class will be there, but because of your travel plan, there will be no class next Tuesday.
Ki hobe tale? Next class is which month? Next week, next month? Next.
No, this month only.
Only. Say, shall we then, I was thinking this, I do not know whom to consult because I do not know who are listening.
30th December.
Yeah. Last class, I am thinking of moving it to online only. I am sometimes also thinking if someone comes, but you people get benefit.
But next Tuesday, you are traveling. So, 4:30 class will not be there.
Not be there, okay. There will be no class in the next Tuesday. Because that will be 30th, no? Today's 23rd, 30th. So this month, this is the last month of this month and this year. And probably we'll go to the online only. So we can think, no one comes to what is the problem. Online.
7:30.
Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat, Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. And 7:30 will be our next class. That is Setar Upanishad. We are almost at the end part of that also. So that will also, I am not giving it, someone is giving now on 30th, not cancelled. 30th December, is there any class, 7:30?
So 30th you will give somebody else will give.
Okay, ठीक है.
Today you will give the class.
Okay.
7:30.
Okay, then see you in at 7:30. Thank you all.